Hello, you're watching VNA News and now highlights.
National Party Congress delegates attend preparatory session. Bloomberg optimistic about Vietnam's economic prospects. Hanoi expects to welcome 21.2 million tourists this year.
Delegates to the 12th National Party Congress paid floral tribute to late President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum in Hanoi on January 20th before attending a preparatory session.
They include Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, President Trương Tấn Sang, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng, Chairman of the National Assembly Nguyễn Sinh Hùng, President of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee Nguyễn Thiện Nhân, and members of the Political Bureau and the Secretariat of the Party Central Committee, among others. They expressed their gratitude to the beloved President, the national liberation hero, who laid the ideology foundation for the revolutionary cause of the Communist Party of Vietnam. The delegation then laid a wreath at the monument to heroes and martyrs. The 12th National Congress of the Communist Party of Vietnam will take place in Hanoi from January 20th to 28th, with the main theme of intensifying the building of a strong and pure party.
After paying tribute to late President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum and laying wreath at the monument to heroes and martyrs, more than 1,500 delegates to the 12th National Party Congress attended a preparatory session at the National Convention Center. At the session, the delegates approved the working regulations of the Congress and elected the Presidium, the Secretariat, and the Delegate Eligibility Appraisal Board. They also adopted the working agenda and election regulations for the Congress and reports examining the eligibility of the delegates. After the preparatory session, the delegates studied the documents provided. The 12th National Party Congress is officially open on January 21st. It will last until January 28th, as according to the agenda, focusing the main theme of intensifying the building of a strong and pure party. The event will focus on reviewing the implementation of the 11th Congress's resolution and the outcomes of the 30-year reform course. It will also define directions, targets, tasks and measures for nation building, safeguarding and development in the next 5 years. During the Congress, as many as 180 official members and 20 alternate members of the 12th Party Central Committee will be elected. People across the nation are looking forward to the 12th National Party Congress and hope that the Congress will map out plans to propel the country into a period of greater development and international integration. People have been sharing their confidence that the 12th National Party Congress will be a success. They voiced their expectation that the Congress will elect a new generation of leaders who will continue to drive the country forward and usher in a new phase of development, as well as building a strong and pure party.
I
expect the National Party Congress will elect a new generation of talented leaders with competence and virtues to lead the country during the process of international integration while advancing socialism.
I hope that the Party Central Committee will put forth major policies and measures to guide Vietnam's revolutionary cause, successfully safeguard our territorial sovereignty, and boost national development.
Vietnam is a development success story. Economic reforms launched in 1986 have transformed the country from one of the poorest in the world, with per capita income around $100 a year, to a middle-income status within a quarter of a century, with per capita income of over $2,000 achieved by the end of 2014. The country is pushing up industrialization, modernization, and international integration. Its socio-political stability has been ensured. and national defense and security have been strengthened. The country's international relations have been enhanced, and its position has increased in the international arena.
Nhân dân cũng kỳ vọng cái điều thứ nhất là đại hội sẽ rất là thành công.
I have faith that those who are elected to this 10 years Central Committee, as well as key party and state leaders, will uphold their roles and responsibility to the party and the people.
Đồng chí đủ tâm, đủ sức, đủ tài.
I wish the party Congress a great success, electing virtuous and talented officials to lead the nation to a new height, bringing a comfortable life to the people while maintaining political security.
People pin high hopes on the 12th National Party Congress. They are all hoping that the Congress will roll out good decisions, policies and solutions that develop the country in peace and cooperation, spur national economic growth, and raise people's living standards. Bloomberg News has reported Vietnam's economy is forecast to expand 6.7% this year, the same pace as in 2015, while the world's largest emerging economies, including Russia, Brazil and China, falter. Vietnam's steadily economic growth at near 7% this year will make it among the fastest-growing markets in the world.
According to Bloomberg, rising domestic demand and booming foreign direct investment are helping Vietnam counter a global threat that has sparked a wave of stock selling and currency depreciation this year. That comes as the country begins a leadership transition this week that will set the tone for economic reform and growth. The Communist Party's draft socio-economic plan for 2016 to 2020 shows the nation will target as much as 7% average annual expansion. In a report released earlier this month, Australia and New Zealand banking group said Vietnam is positioned to have another stellar year in 2016. Nonetheless, the long-term outlook will depend on the outcome of the political changes expected over the next 12 months. The central bank's recent efforts to make the exchange rate more flexible will also strengthen macroeconomic stability and help ease pressure on reserves. Meanwhile, official data showed private consumption rose 9.3% last year. Disbursed foreign direct investment surged 17.4% to a record high of $14.5 billion last year from 2014. Vietnam's stock market has also attracted foreign investors, with overseas investors net buyers for the 10th consecutive year in 2015. The draft plan shows the government of Vietnam aiming to lift gross domestic product per capita to $3,200 to $3,500 by 2020, compared with the International Monetary Fund's estimate of about $2,171 in 2015. Inflation will be kept below 5% and the budget deficit capped at 4% of GDP.
Recommendations for the harmonization between the EU and Vietnam's regulations on agricultural product exports were the focus of discussion at the workshop in Hanoi on January 20th. Our reporters have more details in the following report.
Agricultural products exported to the EU may face challenges from technical barriers, including tough sanitary and phytosanitary measures, known as SPS in short. The shortage of information on technical requirements is also another difficulty that domestic exporters encounter. Violations on food safety and hygiene still occur regularly. Most recently, from 2011 to 2013, the country's vegetable exports were cited for the overuse of pesticides, contrary to EU regulations. Export managers maintain that the main condition for the success of Vietnamese exporters is that all regulations on technical barriers have to be complied with. Hence, it is crucial for Vietnam to map out a new set of standards in accordance with EU practice.
thì chúng ta cũng cần phải có.
There should be clear rules of supervision over production and harvest to ensure the mitigation of microorganism contamination and that we have no more violations on the overuse of pesticides.
Thuốc bảo vệ thực vật theo.
In reality, Vietnam's farm-produced exports are currently facing a number of technical barriers. As a result, gaining a deep understanding of SPS regulations as well as the EU's managing system is essential in a bid to achieve a new set of standards in line with EU regulations.
The Vietnam Cement Industry Corporation has requested its member companies to increase domestic consumption by at least 10% this year.
These enterprises were also required to boost cement consumption in key markets and localities which have advantages in transportation, while maintaining export targets to support the domestic market. Last year, exports of Vietnamese cement and clinker saw a sharp decline due to direct competitive prices from countries with large production volumes, including China, Thailand, and Indonesia, thus leading to more fierce competition in the local market. Cement production is much higher than demand. Total cement supply in the local market reached about 81 million tons, while cement consumption demand was only about 53.18 million tons. As a result, cement producers had to reschedule or stop production. According to the Vietnam Cement Industry Corporation, if the central bank adjusts the exchange rate or devalues the Vietnamese dong, it makes things very difficult for the cement industry as well as its export activity. To deal with the problem, the corporation has asked cement companies to reduce clinker inventories, but not to adjust their profit by reducing the income of workers. This year, the corporation has set a target of producing 17 million tons of clinker and 22 million tons of cement. Consumption of cement and clinker is expected to reach 24 million tons, bringing a revenue of $1.44 billion with a profit before tax of $78.6 million.
The capital city of Hanoi expects to receive some 21.2 million visitors in 2016, up 7% from last year. The figure includes 3.8 million foreigners and 17.4 million domestic tourists. Together, they are expected to generate more than $2.68 billion for the municipal tourism sector, up 8.11% against last year. To realize the targets, the city will boost tourism promotions and connection at home and abroad, with a focus on key markets such as France, UK, Germany, the US, China, Japan, the Republic of Korea, and Indonesia. Hanoi came fourth on the list of the world's top 25 travel destinations in the 2015 Travelers' Choice Awards, named by prestigious travel website TripAdvisor. Lonely Planet, the world's most popular travel guide, has listed the capital city and Ho Chi Minh City in the top 10 best value destinations for 2016. Both Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City came second on the list, as they were said to be in that most magical of price brackets for budget travelers. Foreign visitors only need around $22 per day for food, lodging, and sightseeing in the two cities. Vietnam's two metropolises were also named among the top 5 best cities for low-budget vacations in 2015 earlier this year by Dr. Brim, a renowned travel and tourism website. The rankings were based on average daily expenditure on food, accommodation, and transportation. And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.